Ever since we were little, my childhood friend was the kind of guy who'd do whatever I asked, no questions asked. I told him, my foot hurts, and he immediately bent down and lifted my leg. I said, my mouth hurts, and without a word, he kissed me. But on my 18th birthday, I confessed my feelings to him, and he rejected me. I was so furious, I flew abroad that very day. Now, years later, on my first day back in the country, I got forced into picking up that guy to bring him to a family party. I pushed open the door to the private room and saw him right away, Logan Blackwood. That bastard didn't even answer my calls. The whole room gasped. Everyone there was shocked. This was the first time they'd ever seen someone dare to curse at Logan Blackwood, heir to the Blackwood family. But Logan didn't get angry. Instead, he leaned back lazily on the sofa, the corners of his mouth lifting into a barely noticeable smirk. I had to admit, the man looked ridiculously handsome. Just as I was about to step into the room, a girl blocked my path, Savannah Kane. I stopped and stared at her. What do you want? Savannah tilted her chin up and asked, you're here to see Mr. Blackwood? I nearly rolled my eyes out loud. What does that have to do with you? Move. She turned toward Logan. Mr. Blackwood, who is she? Logan's eyes twinkled with amusement. Never seen her before. I was so angry I could scream. I glared at him. Are you sick of living? Want me to launch you into space like a satellite? Savannah smirked triumphantly, looking at me like I was dirt. Mr. Blackwood said he doesn't know you. You're not allowed in. And what if I insist on entering? I leaned against the doorway, arms crossed, outsassing her attitude with one of my own. With girls like her, being polite doesn't work. You have to out-arrogant them or they'll step all over you. Savannah's whole body trembled with rage. Do you even know who I am? How dare you talk to me like that? The room went silent. No one had dared speak to Savannah Kane like that in years. Her face darkened like a thunderstorm was rolling in. Suddenly, the whole room, soft chuckles broke out in the room. Savannah Kane whipped her head around and glared. The laughter stopped immediately. She took a step forward, eyes locked on me. Apologize. Now. Or don't blame me for what happens next. I didn't flinch. And what are you gonna do? Savannah scoffed coldly, then suddenly grabbed my hair and raised her hand to slap me. Logan Blackwood frowned, instinctively standing up. He was about to help me, pure reflex, but in that exact moment, he froze. Why did he want to protect me? Didn't he hate me? Shouldn't he be happy to see me getting humiliated? Before Logan could snap out of it, another loud smack echoed across the room, much louder than the first, but this time, the slap didn't land on me. It landed squarely across Savannah's face. Silence. Logan said nothing. Then it hit him. I didn't need him to protect me. Gasps filled the room. Oh my God. I can't believe what I just saw. That's the first time anyone slapped Savannah Kane. Until now, she was the one always slapping others. You dare hit me? Savannah screamed. I didn't even respond. I just slapped her again. Girls who secretly hated Savannah started whispering excitedly, damn. That was so satisfying. I've wanted to do that for so long but didn't dare. Outside of Logan and Dean Miller, no one's ever touched Savannah Kane at school. I grabbed Savannah by the throat and shoved her against the door. My voice was low, and my smile icy. Listen carefully, princess. Touch me again, and I'll make sure you never use that hand again. Logan smirked, still the same as always. No matter what situation I'm in, I never let myself be the victim. I turned to glare at him. You just gonna stand there and watch? Having fun? Gasps echoed again. Everyone looked back and forth between Logan and me, stunned. Who the hell is this girl, and how dare she speak to Logan Blackwood like that? Is she not afraid for her life? But the biggest shock came next. Logan actually walked over to me. He really did. The entire room went dead silent. Logan Blackwood, the arrogant, untouchable Logan, just stepped forward, and not only that, he actually listened to her. What the hell is going on? Savannah Kane's face turned pale, her whole body starting to tremble. Who the hell is this girl? She thought, fear creeping into her chest. Meanwhile, Logan Blackwood stopped in front of me. Hannah Monroe, he said slowly, you haven't changed a bit. I released Savannah's collar and turned to face him, staring him down. Something wrong with your brain? I snapped. If so, maybe donate it to someone who actually needs it. Besides, I look even better than I used to. Savannah's eyes darted from me to Logan, still shaking. Mr. Blackwood. Didn't you say you didn't know her? She asked nervously. Logan didn't even bother looking at her. His voice turned colder. "Savannah," he said flatly, "I'm pretty sure I've told you more than once, I hate being interrupted when I'm speaking." I'm sorry," Savannah stammered, lowering her head. What a joke. In front of me, she acted like some queen looking down on her maid, but in front of Logan, she suddenly turned into a submissive puppy. I glanced back at Logan. "Seriously, Logan Blackwood, you really need to get your eyes checked. That's the kind of girlfriend you choose? Better be careful, your dad might just disown you." Logan finally responded, his tone casual. "Hannah, you know I've always had high standards. Getting a girlfriend isn't that easy for me." I was about to tell him to follow me when he suddenly turned back to Savannah. "Apologize to her," he said. "What? Was this guy actually standing up for me?" Savannah looked horrified. Glancing around at the other guests, she'd bullied almost every single person in this room, and now he was asking her to apologize. In front of everyone, she'd rather die of embarrassment, Mr. Blackwood. She stuttered, flustered and desperate. "Do I really have to?" Logan's voice dropped, icy cold. "Did I stutter?" Savannah panicked, her face drained of all color. She clenched her jaw, then turned to me. "I'm sorry," she muttered through gritted teeth. "Sorry, what?" I tilted my head. I love watching bullies squirm. "Speak up." "I didn't hear you." Logan gave me a helpless look, while another guy in the room, Liam Carter, couldn't hold back anymore. He burst out laughing. "This is way too entertaining." Savannah, on the other hand, wanted to melt into the floor. Savannah Kane burned with humiliation, but she couldn't lash out, not when Liam Carter, Logan Blackwood's closest friend, was standing right there. She had no choice but to swallow her anger. Taking a deep breath, she raised her voice. "I'm sorry." I narrowed my eyes. "Say that again." Savannah's fury flared. "Stop looking at me like I bullied you or something." "But you did," I said flatly. "And besides, that apology? Totally fake and lifeless. Who would accept that?" Then I turned to Logan. "What do you think, Mr. Blackwood?" He gave a small nod. Savannah clenched her fists so tightly her nails nearly broke skin. Another deep breath, and this time, her voice came out a little more genuine. "I'm sorry." Much better," I said, giving her a sharp smile. "But I'm still not forgiving you." Then I glanced at Logan. "Let's go. You really made me come all the way here to get you?" Logan looked around the room and replied. "Fine. I'll go with you." Once we both stepped out, the room immediately buzzed. Someone turned to Liam. "Liam, seriously, who is that girl? Do you know her?" "I have no idea," Liam shrugged. "But one thing's for sure, she's definitely not just some random nobody to Logan Blackwood." Logan walked beside me, and I gave him a sideways glare. "So? What do you plan to do to make it up to me?" "If it weren't for you," I added, "I wouldn't have gotten slapped by that psycho out there." At that moment, Dean Miller and Nick Thompson, two of Logan's longtime friends, froze in place when they saw us walking past. Dean's eyes instantly turned cold, his stare sharp as ice. His whole vibe shifted in an instant, chilling, like the dead of winter. "I did help you. Didn't I?" Logan muttered, clearly irritated. "Why are you still mad?" I spun on him. "You call that help? I got slapped because of you." Logan looked away. "Didn't you slap her back? What more do you want?" Steam practically poured out of my ears, but before I could yell again, Logan's eyes narrowed slightly. He'd just noticed Dean and Nick standing at the right side of the lounge. He stepped in closer, brushing past me, moving from my left to my right. "I'm still talking to you," I snapped. Turning to him, Logan circled around and stood in front of me again. "What was that about?" he asked. "What do you think?" I replied. "Fulfill 3 of my conditions." What conditions?" "I haven't thought of them yet. I'll let you know later." Logan gave me a look of pure disdain. "Are you some kind of gangster or highway robber?" I rolled my eyes. "Obviously, I'm both." If I hadn't restrained myself, I would have kicked him right then and there. "Believe it or not," I warned, "if I go home with a swollen face, I'll tell your parents about that slap. Let's see how they handle you." Logan had no choice but to give in. "Fine." I raised my chin, smirking. "That's more like it." From a distance, Nick Thompson gave Dean Miller a look of surprise. "This girl. She's close to Logan?" "It's the first time I've seen any girl talk to Logan like that." Dean didn't reply. He stared at the elevator doors as they closed. A long moment passed. Then, slowly, a smirk appeared on Dean's lips. It was Saturday night, 8 p.m. The streets were still bustling. As we walked, I suddenly noticed a pharmacy up ahead. "Hey," I said, nudging Logan. "Go in there and buy me 2 bags of ice. If I show up at home with my face still swollen, I'm screwed." Logan let out a dry laugh and didn't move an inch. He stared at me, expressionless. "Hannah Monroe. You know you're the only person who dares to boss me around like this?" I snapped. "Stop talking. Go get the damn ice." He smirked. "What an honor. Serving Princess Monroe, it's a real privilege." His tone was sarcastic, and his eyes were anything but amused. "You're getting more and more confident, aren't you?" he said coolly. I flipped my hair and lifted my chin. "Why shouldn't I be? If I can handle you, I can handle anything." Logan gave a half-hearted nod. "True. No one else is as shameless and unreasonable as you." That did it. Steam practically shot out of my ears. I threw open the car door and jumped out, furious enough to want to pin Logan to the ground and punch him into next week. But reality check, it's been years. Logan's now a full head taller than me. If we actually fought, I'd get wrecked. So, as they say, when words work, don't use fists. 5 minutes later, what's the point of going around in circles? Liam Carter asked. "Then what do you want?" I replied. "Fulfill the 3 conditions I give you, but I haven't thought of them yet. I'll tell you later." Liam looked at me with visible annoyance. "Are you trying to act like a thug or a robber?" Of course, I immediately reacted. I almost kicked him right then and there. "If we get home and I tell my parents about that slap, you think you won't get into trouble?" Liam finally gave in. "Fine." I lifted my chin and smiled smugly. "That's more like it." Jason turned to look at Mia, surprised. She was Liam's friend. This was the first time I'd seen any girl get that close with Liam Carter outside of school. Mia didn't say anything. She stared at the elevator door as it closed. After a long pause, a slight smirk formed on her lips. It was Saturday night, 8 p.m., and the streets were still crowded. I suddenly noticed a pharmacy by the roadside. I nudged Liam. "Go inside and buy me 2 ice packs. If you don't, my face will still be swollen by the time I get home." Liam merely gave a cold chuckle, not even moving. He stared at me without emotion. "Bailey Hart, do you realize you're the only one who dares to order me around like this?" I rolled my eyes. "Stop talking and just go already." "Serving you, my lady, is the greatest honor of my life," he said sarcastically. Liam smirked, but there was no warmth in his eyes. "Bailey Hart, you're getting way too confident these days." "That's right." I flipped my hair and lifted my chin. "If you didn't have me, would you even have this much drama in your life?" "I have every right to be confident." Liam replied indifferently. True. I don't have your level of shamelessness and audacity." He opened the car door and stepped out. I was boiling with rage. I really wanted to wrestle Liam Carter to the ground and give him a good beating, but then again, times had changed. Liam was now a whole head taller than me. If we really fought, I'd be the one getting destroyed, so if I could win with words, I would never use fists. 5 minutes later, Liam returned. "Here." He handed me the cold packs. I took them and said casually, "Thanks." Liam smiled. "So how are you going to thank me?" God, this guy was infuriating. I felt like hitting him again. Soon, we arrived at the Hart residence. I parked the car and looked at Liam cautiously. "Are you ready?" "Huh?" Liam paused, not understanding what I meant. I rubbed my hands excitedly. "It's showtime. Let's play our roles, something between friendship and romance. Time to act." Liam was speechless. "Are you insane?" Mr. Lee, the butler, saw us and approached happily. "Miss Bailey." "Young Master Liam." I ran over and hugged Mr. Lee. "Mr. Lee, I missed you so much." "Did you miss me?" Mr. Lee laughed. He always treated me like his own granddaughter. "Of course I missed you, sweetheart. Now, come on in." As I walked into the living room, I saw my parents and my 2 older brothers chatting with Liam's parents. All the servants bowed respectfully. "Good evening, Miss Hart." "Good evening, young Master Carter." Ryan, my older brother, called out cheerfully, "Bailey, come over here." I smiled and walked over, sitting right between my 2 brothers without hesitation. "Why did you dye your hair blonde?" Dad frowned. "It looks good. Blonde matches my skin tone." I replied confidently. "You're still a student. Why dye your hair? And such a flashy color too." Dad scolded. Well, Liam can take me to re-dye it tomorrow. Seriously? Why did Liam have to take me? Mrs. Carter looked at me with affection. I must admit, the blonde is really pretty. But maybe wait till college. You're still a student, you should look like one. I nodded obediently. All right. She smiled brightly. Oh, right. I have something to tell you too. I raised an eyebrow, curious. What is it? As I asked, I took a glass of orange juice from a servant and sipped it. Logan, my other brother, leaned over and whispered in my ear with a grin, just a friendly tip, maybe don't drink that orange juice too quickly. I looked at him, confused. Jason handed me the bag of ice. I took it and said offhandedly, thanks, Jason. He smiled. How do you plan to thank me? Ugh, so annoying. I wanted to punch him again. Before long, we arrived at my house. I parked the car and looked cautiously at Jason. Are you ready? Huh? Jason blinked, confused, rubbing my hands excitedly. I said, it's time for us to hit the stage. Friends on the surface, something more underneath. Let's get this act going. Jason looked speechless. Are you out of your mind? Mr. Lee, our butler, saw us and walked up with a big smile. Miss Emily, young Master Jason. I ran over and hugged him tightly. Mr. Lee. I missed you so much. Did you miss me? He laughed warmly. He had always treated me like his own granddaughter. Of course I did. Come on now, let's head inside. In the living room, my parents and two older brothers were chatting with Jason's parents. The housemaids bowed together. Good evening, Miss Emily. Young Master Jason. Tyler, my second brother, grinned and called out, Emily. Come here. I smiled and sat comfortably between my two brothers. Why did you dye your hair blonde? He asked. Because it looks good. It suits my skin tone, I answered. My dad frowned. You're still a student, why dye your hair, and such a flashy color at that? Then let Jason take me to get it re-dyed tomorrow, I said with a deadpan expression. Fine. I don't mind dyeing it again, I added. But why does Jason have to go with me? Mrs. Lewis looked at me with affection. I have to admit, the blonde is beautiful. But maybe wait until college to dye it again. For now, students should look like students. I nodded. All right. Then she smiled brightly. Oh, that's right, there's something we wanted to talk to you two about. I tilted my head, curious. What is it? As I asked, I took a glass of orange juice from a maid and took a sip. Chloe leaned in and whispered, a little tip, don't drink that orange juice too fast. I blinked, confused, then Mrs. Lewis dropped the bomb. We've decided to let you and Jason get engaged. I was so shocked I spewed orange juice out my nose and throat. It burned like hell. My mom chuckled joyfully. Oh my, Emily, take a breath. You look so excited. Coughing violently, I almost choked. Do I look excited to you? Chloe shrugged, helpless. I did warn you. Jason frowned. Shouldn't you have talked to us first about this? I immediately raised both hands. Exactly. I mean, this isn't just some random issue, it's an engagement. You have to ask us. Mrs. Lewis laughed. There's nothing to discuss. You'll both agree, anyway. We all know how close you two are, there's no need to hide it. I protested, but what if Jason already has someone he likes? She waved it off, amused. No way. If Jason liked someone, we'd know. He's cold as ice at school, barely talks to anyone. Mr. Lewis added, Jason only treats you differently. He's special only with you. I hesitated. But Mrs. Lewis, she cut me off immediately. No buts, Emily. Jason's fiancé can only be you. No one matches him better than you do. Mr. Lewis nodded beside her. I agree. My dad finally spoke. All right. Neither of you is objecting, so it's settled. Wait. I shouted in panic. Who said we're not objecting? Just as I was about to continue protesting, Mr. Lewis said, then let's set the engagement date for next year's Valentine's Day. Mrs. Lewis chimed in immediately, and the wedding will be after you both graduate. My eyes widened. I felt like my whole world was crumbling, but it didn't stop there. Oh right, Emily, Mrs. Lewis added, to give you 2 more time to bond, we've decided to transfer you to Jason's school. After that, you'll move into my penthouse and live together. Logan looked puzzled for a moment. We've decided to let you and Blake get engaged. I was so shocked that I sprayed the orange juice from my mouth right through my nose, my throat burning like fire. My mom chuckled, clearly pleased. May, calm down. Just look how happy you are. I choked and coughed violently, my chest burning. Do I look happy to you? Logan shrugged helplessly. I did try to warn you. Blake frowned. Shouldn't you have discussed this with us first? I immediately raised both hands in agreement. Exactly. I mean, you can make all kinds of decisions without us, but an engagement? You're supposed to ask. Aunt Lydia smiled brightly. What's there to discuss? You two were going to agree anyway. Everyone knows how close you are. There's nothing to hide. I groaned in disbelief, but what if Blake already likes someone else? Aunt Lydia waved dismissively. No way. If Blake liked someone, I'd know. He's cold as ice at school. Uncle Luke nodded. He only acts warm around you, May. He treats you special. I hesitated, but, no buts. Aunt Lydia cut me off. Blake's fiancé can only be you. There's no one better suited for him than you. Uncle Luke chimed in. I agree. Just then, my dad stepped in. Alright, so neither of you objects, right? Then it's settled. Engagement it is. Wait a minute. I screamed. Who said we don't object? Just as I was about to say more, Uncle Luke said, let's set the date for next Valentine's Day. Aunt Lydia added, and the wedding can be held after you both graduate. My eyes widened. It felt like my whole world was crumbling, but then came the final blow. Oh, and May, Aunt Lydia said cheerfully, to help the two of you bond. We've decided to transfer you to Blake's school. And you'll move into my luxury apartment with him. She raised an eyebrow. Just the two of you. I felt like vomiting blood. Take me to the hospital, I groaned, collapsing onto Logan. He laughed gleefully. Hospitals won't help. You need a drink. I glared at him. A drink, my ass. Blake turned to Aunt Lydia. So, you're seriously asking me to live with May? Just the two of us? Yes, she replied, nodding. That way, it'll be easier to develop your relationship. She gave him a meaningful look. Why do you think we made you learn to cook? So when you're living together, you can make her all her favorite dishes. Blake looked exasperated. So this was all part of your plan from the start? Oh, and May, she added, if you ever need extra spending money, just ask Blake. You're part of the family now. What's ours is yours. What a lovely thing to say. Not that it made me feel any better. Live with that jerk? I'd rather die. Alright, enough of this, my mom said, standing up. Mr. Lee has been waiting for 10 minutes. The barbecue ingredients are ready, let's go grill some meat. As everyone filed out of the villa, I grabbed Logan and Tyler's arms and stopped them. Once the place was empty, I collapsed. You two knew about this, didn't you? Yeah, Logan said casually. Surprised? Surprised? I'm shocked to death. I was almost in tears. Why didn't you tell me? You both know how much I hate Blake. Are you even my brothers anymore? Of course we are, Tyler said gently, pulling me into a hug. I clung to him, crying. Then why don't you care about me anymore? Because Blake really is a good guy, he said. He's the best one around you. I cried harder. No. The best ones are you too. Tyler smiled faintly but said nothing. Seeing that he wasn't going to help, I turned desperately to Logan. I grabbed his hand and gave him my most pitiful look. Logan, please help me think of something. I can't go to school with Blake. Leo still hadn't caught on. Anyway, we've decided to have you and Ryan get engaged. I was so shocked I sprayed orange juice out of my nose and throat. And it stung like crazy. My mom laughed cheerfully. Oh my, Bella, calm down. Look how excited you are. I was coughing uncontrollably, nearly choking. Do I look excited to you? I croaked. Leo shrugged, looking helpless. I warned you. Ryan frowned. Why didn't anyone discuss this with us first? I immediately raised both hands in agreement. Exactly. This isn't something minor, we're talking about an engagement. Shouldn't we have a say in this? Aunt Rachel chuckled. What's there to discuss? You both were going to agree anyway. We all know how close you two are. I protested weakly, but what if Ryan already likes someone else? Aunt Rachel waved it off. Impossible. If he liked anyone, I'd know. He's colder than an ice cube at school. Uncle David chimed in. Ryan only treats you that way, Bella. You're the only one he makes exceptions for. I hesitated. But, Aunt Rachel, no buts. She cut me off. Ryan's fiancé can only be you. No one else matches him like you do. Uncle David nodded, I agree. Then my dad spoke, all right then. Neither of you objects, right? Great, we'll proceed with the engagement. I nearly fainted, hold on a second. Who said we're okay with this? Just as I was about to protest further, Uncle David added, let's set the engagement date for next Valentine's Day. Aunt Rachel followed up immediately, and the wedding will be after the two of you graduate. My eyes widened in disbelief. I felt like my world was crashing down, but the worst news hadn't even come yet. Oh right, Bella. Aunt Rachel continued, to give you 2 more time to bond, we've decided to transfer you to Ryan's school. You'll be living together in my luxury apartment. She raised her brows, just the 2 of you. I felt like vomiting blood. Someone take me to the hospital, I moaned, collapsing into Leo's arms. Leo just laughed, hospital won't help. You need alcohol to numb the pain. I glared at him, screw your alcohol. Ryan turned to Aunt Rachel, you're saying you want me and Bella to live together? Just the 2 of us? Yes, she nodded. It'll help you 2 bond better. Why do you think I had you take cooking classes? So you can make delicious meals for Bella after you move in. Ryan looked stunned, so this was all part of a long-term plot? Exactly. Aunt Rachel clapped, oh, and Bella, if you ever run out of spending money, just ask Ryan. You're basically our daughter-in-law now. What's ours is yours. That should have sounded comforting, but it only made me want to cry. Live with that cold-faced guy? Are you trying to kill me? Okay, enough of that. Mom stood up. Mr. Lee said the barbecue is ready. Let's go grill some meat. I grabbed Nathan and Leo by the arms and refused to let them leave. Once everyone else had left the mansion, I collapsed and stared at my 2 brothers. You guys knew this all along, didn't you? Nathan shrugged, yup. Surprised? Surprised? I'm dying inside. I wailed, tears welled up in my eyes. Why didn't you say anything? You know I hate Ryan Blackwood. Do you even care about me? Of course we care, Nathan said, pulling me into a hug. I clung to him and cried, then why aren't you helping me? Don't you love me anymore? Because Ryan really is a good guy, he said gently. He's the best one around you. I instantly tried to suck up to him. No, you and Leo are the best. Nathan gave a small smirk and didn't reply. Seeing that he wasn't going to help, I turned to Leo, my last hope. I grabbed his hand with a pitiful look. Leo, help me think of something. I can go to the same school as Ryan, sure. But I don't want to be engaged to him. I definitely don't want to live with him. Leo raised both hands in surrender. Come on, little tornado. It's not that we didn't try. We begged Mom and Dad for weeks, but they wouldn't budge. Why not? I was on the verge of losing it. If you don't help me, I hissed, then when I move in with Ryan, there are only 2 possible tragic endings. 1, I'll find a way for us both to go down in flames. 2, I'll end up beating him to death. If something feels off, let us know in the comments so we can make every story even better. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.